My bonus jack combos starting at $4.49. Now you can say you're loving it and actually mean it. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
The roll that lets me do that. And now I can't actually remove any of my own rolls, but I can still delete messages. And I've actually done it a couple of times when I've seen, like, spam messages or really offensive messages. I actually have deleted a few messages in CM. I also deleted the North Korea reactions on the announcement of Koryan's match, because I wanted Koryan to notice me and he wanted someone to delete the North Korea reactions, so I deleted them. That was me. Alright, thanks, Murray. That's a nice old name. Pog Bulldog 712, I like that. I don't know where Guerrero is. I really don't know. I'm trying to remember who it was. Like, I would just go and check, but I deleted them, so I can't see who left them. I think, like, Honey Beef was one of them, but that's all I remember. Which is crazy, because Honey Beef hasn't been properly active in, like, a million years. Like, Honey Beef is this not very good stacker who used to make documents attempting to roast people's stacking, which really sucked, because they featured all these terrible recommendations for bad placements. I still have one of them. I still have the one that he made for Hazelnut Milk, and it's so bad. So yeah, I think Honey Beef left one of the North Korea reactions. Honey Beef might have started it, honestly. I never understood that man. Like, he really wanted being a stacking nerd and being really annoyed at other people's bad stacking to be his personality. He just wasn't good at stacking either. Like, I don't claim to be any kind of stacking expert, but even I can see how full of blunders those documents are. Alright, surely if I change my server name to Judges and ping Guerrero again and say contact me, right? Surely. But yeah, he's like totally offline, which is never encouraging. I hope he's alright. I hope he's just, like, frolicking in the fields or something, and forgetting, and not anything worse. Oh, you know, I was actually the same. I slept in a long way this morning, because I don't actually have any classes in the morning on a Monday, which it is me today. I slept in a long way and I only woke up like less than 10 minutes before the match start time. It was kind of lucky. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I have actually done that once before. There was one time at like my absolute worst of like bad routine in like 2024 where things really did get pretty bad for a while, that I did in fact miss a match because I was frolicking through the fields, or more specifically, I'd completely forgotten about it, and I was like on a great adventure hours away in the hills. So I kind of did that. It still wasn't good, but I feel like it's better than sleeping through a match, you know, at least be frolicking through the fields. Yeah, that one time I was actually too busy touching grass. Although that, you know, Tetris matches are not that big of a commitment. There's plenty of time to arrange your touching of grass to be in between your Tetris commitments. Honestly, I don't really know either. I think Hazelnut Milk is the only person who completely knows how this league works, and I don't actually know if it's coming back again for another season. I've been hearing some kind of negative noises about that, so you might just win a happy feeling. You might also get guaranteed tier 2 next season if there is one, but even if there is one, I've heard the format might be changing quite a bit. So it may just be a happy feeling. And there's not like a prize pool or anything, because last time we had a prize pool, Boxy ran off with it and never paid anyone. So we're not doing that again. I do feel bad for everyone who donated to the Season 2 prize pool. Yeah, that money just kind of vanished. I think that's the only time that's ever happened in Tetris. It's the first incident we've had of someone... I mean, it's like, it's in Match Arena, so it's not like... I don't think he literally has the money himself. He just disappeared and never paid it out. Yeah, we should probably do that, actually. There must be some kind of way, but I think we sort of just looked at it and threw our hands up. Like, I was technically in the, like, admin chat that we set up this reboot of the league in, but I wasn't really sure what was going on. Like, it was basically just Hazel talking and the rest of us listening. There were a lot of very big walls of text. Hey, Hana. I mean, yeah. Like, I really do hope Foxy is okay. I think there is sort of a case to be quite worried about him, but yeah, I feel bad for the people who lost their money into the Match Arena void. Yeah, it's kind of happened before, but never for this long. At least not in my time. I haven't ever seen it happen for this long. Like, unless he like coincided with my months long disappearance that also happened in 2022, but it seems unlikely that it like fully coincided with that. I don't think that happened. So yeah, I've seen like brief Foxy disappearances, but yeah, one this long is a bit worrying. Probably nothing's happened, but just not knowing is... not knowing can be a bit hard. My hopes of getting Guerrero online are fading, but we'll wait a little bit longer. Yeah, like I love a good disappearance from the community, but both of my disappearances were quite, well, almost too publicly. I would say definitely too publicly announced. Man, I haven't disappeared from the community in like almost 3 years. Maybe I should disappear again. I don't actually want to disappear again. Living in the void was strange. I didn't like it. This would be some really impressive survival from Murray on myself. Murray can get out of this. This would be really impressive. The dash control here has been top-notch. Oh no, that blocked well. Oh no! Oh, he was so close. Yeah. Like that, I mean, that channel was literally made to make fun of people like how I was in 2022. I definitely wouldn't do that now. Although, it is worth noting that the, on the second disappearance, I did get frantically contacted on like 3 different platforms, including email, by Locke, because Locke didn't have access to the channel where I mentioned I was sleeping on. Like, Locke literally went into the CDM Dropbox and found, like, my email that I had used to enter that and emailed it. And that was like that was sort of a throwaway email that I signed up for Strange Things on, so I almost never actually check that email. It was not my main email, so, yeah. I didn't see it. Eventually I saw the Discord DM, but yeah, no, that was interesting. When Locke spammed me on any platform she could find to try and find it. It was quick as well. I'd barely been gone like a day. Yeah. Well, that's ironically another person who has disappeared now. Well, I gather, like, Locke's actual friends from the community still have regular updates on her existence, but the rest of us don't. Yeah, people say that sort of thing, like, I believe for a good reason, and I'm never sure if there's something I don't know about that they're talking about. Yeah, I've seen the Lock conveniently disappeared. Like, I remember that she was very strange to me when we had, like, the meetup in Sydney, and that whole meetup was an absolute mindfuck that scared me off in-person meetups for a while, but I know it's not that. It was really weird. A very strange experience, the early 2023 Sydney meetup. Yeah, well, the one I went to wasn't hype, because we spent the whole time trying to get MSM out of our faces. Like, we wanted to meet with each other, not fucking MSM, but our host, whose apartment we were at, seemed to think differently of this. Like, I really didn't want to hear all the time about how Opox was drunk or whatever else, like, was going on in MSM. And I don't think MSM cared about us either, was the thing. Like, I don't think MSM, like, Cheese and those people gave a shit about what was going on in Sydney. So I think both groups of people were pretty confused by it all. Like, I heard Cheese's voice coming out of the phone several times, which is not something I expected to hear in Sydney. Yeah, I can believe that. I mean, it was a little bit like that. Like, I experienced just a little bit of that. Um, Not like, I mean, I'm like Division 1 leaking here, but nothing can stop me at this point. I do this shit all the time when I get bored enough. Um, yeah. I was I was a bit creeped out by the one time that she quite seriously offered to drive down to Canberra from Sydney, which is like 3.5 hours to take um the photos that CEM used to require of me. I was like, God damn, I can take the photos myself. You don't need to drive down from Sydney. I don't even really know you. Like, what is this? Yeah, those were very cool, but they disappeared. Yeah, because I was in Hopefuls that month. But yeah, it was crazy. I was like, no, I do not need you to drive down from Sydney. That is not necessary. But yeah, like I didn't even know who she was, and like I think the first Hopefuls I played in, because this was the second one when we had the photos, but the first ever Hopefuls I played in, it was at like 4 a.m. and she showed up in the chat and was very like I'd literally never heard of this person before, and she was like very extremely supportive. Um, and it was like, wow, okay, I don't know who this is and why she's saying she stayed up to like god awful o'clock in Australian time to watch me. Like I'm in the same time zone as you. I know how late you're staying up for this shit. Yeah, it was an interest. Like my fairly light experience of Flock compared to some people was very interesting. It's certainly one of the experiences I've ever had in my life. So I can believe a lot of things without being explicitly told what they are. Oh, I love the Division 1 leaking. This is what happens when the players don't show up. I get bored and I run out of things to talk about. Oh wait, I could do an even crazier Division 1. If Guerrero doesn't show up in like another minute, there's an even crazier Division 1 leak from that meetup. I could also just end the stream, but I'm kind of in the zone now. I'll give him until 1/2 past the hour, then I probably need to like get on with my day. He must really be enjoying frolicking in those fields. Yeah, basically at that same meetup, I was at dinner with Locke and Anthony, another person who's not really active in the community anymore. Although I think Anthony just moved on to other things like people do. Famous Arbitrium Controllers co-owner AZN Anthony. I met him for real. Murray's given up on Das. Murray's just rolling now. Honestly, fair enough. The chance of him having to play Das is dwindling every minute. Yeah, and they sort of got into the secret language that MSM members speak with each other, or at least that's how it felt. And they kind of forgot I was there for a moment, so they started Division 1 leaking MSM shit. And the craziest thing that Anthony said was he alleged that JD cheated in 2021 CWC. What he said is that he was in a voice chat, he got behind his opponent and um told him when the long bar was coming. Like and I can believe Anthony was in this voice chat because Anthony was literally always in a voice chat with JD around that time. Yeah, that is I have that from the mouth of Anthony Ho, famous Arbitrium controller. That apparently JD cheated in. Well, yeah. See, when Vandy added that rule, I remember thinking, now I know of an incident where I'm pretty sure this has happened. Everyone else is like, what's this rule for? No one's ever done this. And I'm thinking, yeah, someone might have done this actually. Yeah, like you could have screen looked at Max Out Club, because it was same piece sets, and of course his play in the group stage would have been totally legit because that was different piece sets in the group stage, so it wasn't until top 8. The main thing is, if this is true, I feel kind of bad for Ruins. Because, yeah, I feel like JD was very good at the screen look strats, but still there's an extra level of focus you can get, particularly on 19, from not having the screen look and just having the legend Anthony Ho tell you when the long bar's coming. But yeah, and like Anthony was in the middle of saying this, and Locke was like, "Stop, stop, stop! There's someone else here. You can't say this shit." It was so funny. Like suddenly they remembered I was there. It was such a strange social dynamic at that meetup, man. I mean, the fact that I literally stayed at Locke's apartment definitely made it stranger for me than it needed to be. Like, I don't think everyone else's memories of the meetup are like that. But I decided I couldn't say no to free accommodation, which is probably a mistake. Frontal extra hand incident with its voice. Oh yeah, no, it was like that, and that's now my abiding memory of Australia because like literally, this was a few weeks before I moved to New Zealand and started the next chapter of my life. So that was one of the last things I did in that country. Anyway, I assume that any future meetup I go to won't quite be like that, but gosh, it's a good story to tell. Yeah, while he's gonna fix all that. No, I actually can't believe myself. Like Wiley was talking about this in the Das League server, and I just instinctively responded with like this nasty cynicism because all I could remember was this stupid 2023 meetup. Eventually, I got a grip on myself, but it was like, man, I can't believe what I've become. Yeah, no, Wiley will be fine. I actually trust Wiley. The Sydney 2023 thing was very informal. Oh, wait, I just got a response from Guerrero. We might have a game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, what's he typing? I'm so glad I stalled till half past the hour by leaking everything, the entire contents of my brain. That was so worth it. Yeah, just skip all this and stats. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, the other weird thing about that meetup that was also very weird, that thankfully didn't affect the actual meetup very much, was in its organization. Locke kept saying all this stuff about like the wide mini farewell or whatever, because she knew that I was leaving the country in like a few weeks, and it was kind of nice, but I was also like quite deeply uncomfortable with it. I was like, this is the first like in-person meetup the Australian community has had at all in years. Please do not make this about me. Nobody wants this. And she was like, oh, we could get catering and make it like this nice mini farewell. And I was like, I am not comfortable with this. Can we please just like meet up and talk about and play Tetris? No, my internet's interrupting my leaking. Stop it, internet. Work, please. Pick your dropped frames back up, OBS. I won't stand for this. 0.3% dropped frames, that is unacceptable. Yeah, OBS wants to cut me off from leaking too bad. Guerrero has said he can go live, so we will actually have a match as well, which is cool. That will necessarily put a stop to most of this. Yeah, the behavior of mine has been a bit inconsistent. I mean, I have had no fewer than 6 addresses that I've lived at for at least a month over the last 3 years, and at every one of them, the quality of the internet has been different. So I'm always like, am I going to be able to restream on this? I'm never fully sure. Yeah, well, I suppose consistency is worth something. Hey, Guerrero. At least that kind of allows you to get, like, a functional stream. But yeah, that is very strange. But yeah, this place doesn't seem to be too bad. I think the worst place was... Actually, when I was at my old house in Canberra for 2 months over the summer, that was really bad as well. The internet there sucked, which is interesting because I used to be able to restream on it fine in the very old days. And the place I was at, like, the first 6 months of this year was also pretty crap. Where I am now is fine. It's not the best, but it's fine. But yeah, I should probably stop having so many different addresses if I want any semblance of consistency in my life. Like, I feel like 6 in 3 years is a bit much. It's not getting any better though. There's about to be a 7. Maybe then I will settle down. Oh yes, seed. I've gotten a bit into casual mode from the 30 minutes of stalling. Sorry about that. There's a seed. I see F29A. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Tetris nomad. One of these days I will eventually stay in the same place for a whole entire year. But until then, drama, administration, and whatever else have you will keep me on the move. Unfortunately, sometimes the rest of my real life is a bit like the Sydney Tetris meetup too. And here ends the leaking. Yeah, it certainly has done that. Alright, both players are ready. Let's get the finals of Tier 3 one step closer to finishing this infernal tournament underway. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. That's a very interesting opening sequence. 2 L's and 3 Z's. Oh my god, and the S-burst! What? Oh, what is this? What on earth is that opening? Okay, that is one of the strangest sequences I have seen in a while. Both players dealing with it quite admirably in the end, but yeah, that's about the last, if you could name like a 12-piece sequence to be exactly what I didn't want to see, it would probably be pretty close to that. Oh yes, that'd be awesome. Please do that. Please make the playoffs with 2 wins, 4 losses, and then win the tournament. Be a bit like what I used to do in the Mari tournament when it started at 5 AM, so I'd like invariably come within a whisker of getting eliminated in groups. Because I wasn't properly awake yet. I mean, there was that time that I was literally down and had to reverse sweep Zohasadar just to stay in, then also win another match, and I won the tournament. So you gotta do that, Anfu. I mean, I think I literally played you in the final that time as well. You were also there, you were part of the story. But now it's your turn. Now you've got to sleep through the group stage and then win. 164 for Mari, 123 for Guerrero. Mari gets another Tetris up to 187. I mean, you upsetting Meme was like the hypest thing that happened in that tournament, like in the semi. That was, I couldn't have done that. I mean, Meme like slapped me in the groups. 232 for Mari, actually quite an incredible start in terms of pace, given the sequence that we got to open up with. Guerrero 194 doing pretty well for himself as well. We do actually have 27 bars at like 50 lines, which is not quite normal. Playing at 5 AM and no showing for the first 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know, you might... 30 minutes is really, really engaging in some brinkmanship. I wouldn't recommend it. .301 for Mari, 242 for Guerrero. Mari, 3 Tetrises in front. Really trying to avoid taking a safety double with those S's. Now a bit dependent. Yeah, that you can probably get away with. Like, I don't actually know whether this tournament... Oh, Mari, not sure what to do with that L. He's in some trouble now. Gets a nice double with the long bar. Needs the right squiggly piece for the right side, and he didn't get it. Can't get the square over to the left. Mari's hubris, perhaps getting to him a little bit. He's going to top out at 327, and Guerrero will take game 1. Yeah, no, the Mari tournaments were fun. I gotta rejoin that server. That's where fun happens. I left that and a bunch of other places when I kind of soft retired. I still don't know how much I want to play, honestly, but that was a good place. Mari tournaments are very epic. Oh, well, I'm very happy that they were a thing when they were. Because now I can say that I won a Tetris charity tournament for the Trevor project, and I actually think that's very cool, and I say it very frequently. So let's count down game 2. Actually, both players are ready. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And yeah, you raised money for a good cause as well. Like, they were already very fun tournaments that provided much enjoyment to many players. Oh, we get ZL again. This time it's an S to follow, so it is actually a different sequence. It looks quite similar. It's ZL 2 games in a row. 4 opportunities and 0 Broden openers from our players, which does disappoint me. Murray gonna take a triple on that right side to bring the board down. Nice T-piece to deal with the jaggedness on the left. Guerrero's board looking pretty clean, has only taken 1 burn for his 2 Tetrises. Now we settle down again, hopefully without any more crazy Z bursts for at least a little bit. Oh, Mari in some trouble, some like secret grade looking garbage that he's gonna have to deal with, but he got the Tetris, so it's always helpful. Guerrero up to 138 there. Murray's gonna have some catching up to do once he's out of this. He's at 63,000. Nice L there for the double from Murray to get back open. It's not an ideal board to get a drought like that, even just a mini drought, but Murray was able to get the Tetris go up to 90,000. Now Guerrero with some issues to sort out. Really just needs a J, but this S and Z spam is making it just a bit more complicated. There's a J for the left. Guerrero's doing alright for himself. He gets the Tetris up to 213. Goodness, I'm actually talking about the game. I'm so locked in right now. Murray looks like wants to stick with the row 2. Had an opportunity to get back to row 1 with 2 burns potentially, but that's even better. That's a 1 burn transfer. Murray now at 188, still some distance behind Guerrero's 282. Murray with the Tetris up to 212. This time it's Guerrero's turn to be pacing a little. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before from Guerrero, but like, this is tier 3 and he's on like 600k transition pace halfway through 18. 309 for Guerrero at 68 lines. Murray with that Tetris up to 259. Murray waiting for this long bar, gets it at a good time. I was starting to get a bit worried about that staircase. You know, you do like to have a sloping stack, but maybe not quite sloping in that way. Once it gets to like a literal staircase, it's a bit nasty. Reminds me of the time, the like overnight obsession that everyone had with Parahi for a short time when I was first in the community, and then everyone subsumed it back into regular stacking like sensible people and stopped really talking about it, but there was a brief period. Happy, do you understand parity stacking? Parity stacking? How to stack with good parity, and how to not make shadow teas. Oh my god, the shadow tea. Do you guys remember? Oh, I think Hana's the only person who might remember the shadow tea, but shadow teas. I still sometimes think about them, I just can't avoid it. Mostly because of that video. 494 for Guerrero. Guerrero's actually bringing it. This game, Mari with a couple of Z-Tuck setups. Yeah, that's the video I am talking about. It is that Joseph world record video. I think that was like a level, some really high like level. I think that was a level PB. I could be wrong about that. Worried about Shadow Teasers of 400, but that's the times that we grew up in. Yeah, I thought it was the level 35 one. That's literally how we grew up in this community. Like, we were hearing all this stuff about Shadow Tears when we still sucked at the game. That's what being raised in our generation was like. We're getting up a little bit high, but plenty of burn options on this board. Mari with a Tetris. He's got some garbage to clean up going into transition, which is coming very soon, only in 2 more lines. And Guerrero is in at 602. Mari also in, should be able to clean this up. Nice burn with the square. Mari gets a good L there. That piece helps the board out a lot. He's Tetris ready. And there's a Tetris, 536. Yeah, no, Anpu, you're like sneakily much more OG than I think of you as, aren't you? Tetris for Murray, 591 on level 21. Guerrero at 649 has taken some time to adjust to the speed, but he's looking pretty good now, making the very safe plays, taking flat burns. There's a Tetris for Guerrero, 681. I mean, yeah, that's how a lot of us started old CWCs. That was it for me as well. I remember I got laughed at for saying the first Tetris match I watched was Mega Retro Man versus Michael from 2019, but it's true, because I just, like, I got some recommendations, so I decided to go to the start of the playlist and go from there, so I watched the first match of 2019, and that was Mega Retro Man versus Michael. Also, Mega Retro Man was cracked back then, like, his 18 pacing was actually crazy. What happened to that? Oh, Murray misses, perhaps intentionally, actually. I can see the case for making that burn intentionally. I was going to say miss the tuck, but it's not a bad placement. It's only gets a Tetris, 699. Guerrero at 737 is only about a Tetris and a half ahead. And that misdrop of the Z is going to need a lot of cleanup at the very least. Guerrero, he does get the long bar over. He needs another one for column 3. He actually gets the dirty Tetris, 772. Great timing there for Guerrero. But Mari is breathing down his neck at 766. And Guerrero's board is still not clean, while Mari's is. Mari gets a Tetris, 799 into 26. Are we about to see a double max in the Tier 3 finals? Oh, Mari getting aggressive. Gets the long bar just in time. Not a good board, though. Some cleanup necessary. Guerrero's looking a little better, but far from perfect. He needs an L. Really needs an L. Doesn't get it. Banking on this long bar. Where is it? It shows up maybe just in time. Can he get it back open? I don't think so. Guerrero's going to top out at 789. And that is probably the best game you will ever see in Tier 3. This is the finals after all. Mari needing a Herculean effort just to take one game, and he ties it up 1-1. Mari could finish this off with one more Tetris for the 900k potentially, although not getting the greatest pieces. Oh no, that doesn't burn. Oh no. Okay, maybe no 900k. I don't know, maybe he can get a triple. He could get a triple. Nah, it's not gonna happen. 897. Yeah, Tier 3. Well, this match was worth the wait, I would say. Hey, Triss guy. Wait, 61 lines on kill screen? Oh my gosh, wait, what? 61 lines on kill screen. Who, when, where? Is that some joke? It probably is some joke I don't understand. I spent half an hour leaking my brains out. My brains are all gone. Ah, right. Now that sounds fun. I'm not gonna ignore that. Maybe I should redo the entire league just for the benefit of people who just know. No, I shouldn't do that. We'd never finish the game if I did that. Sounds like Mari is attempting to speak words into a microphone, but perhaps not succeeding. Alright, Mari is ready, Guerrero's ready. Let's count down game 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Enter 2. No, that happens to me a lot, actually. I've embarrassed myself so many times in Twitch chat. Because, yeah, it's right next to the apostrophe. Maybe I should just be one of those, like, people with no grammar game who doesn't use apostrophes. That would save me. Oh my gosh, 40... That's right. That's right, I forgot about that. I forgot you had VIP and then un-VIP'd yourself. 40% of the way to re-VIP. How many percent of the way is that to bringing back Wide's 5-wide? I forget how much these rewards actually cost. Oh yeah, that's like 0.4% of the way to bringing back Wide's 5-wide. Not that anyone's ever going to redeem that, and for good reason. I'm a man. I mean, it is true. If anyone ever finds some like infinite channel points exploit on Twitch, then I am actually cooked because I will have to bring back Wide's 5-wide, and that is the most humiliating thing that I will ever do in my life. But I am in fact a man of my word, so I will do it. 122 for Murray, 84,000 for Guerrero. Guerrero, currently the bit of an off well on column 9, which he's gonna clean back up before trying to score. Murray looking pretty clean. This time it's an early lead for Murray, the reverse of what we saw last game. Murray looking nice and comfortable in column 10. Wide's 5-wide is so old that, like, no one here knows it unless I explain it to them. It was a really bad, Tetrio tournament. There were 2 iterations of it, actually, that I ran in 2020 before even joining the NES Tetris community. This was, like, early to mid-2020. This is Tetrio is a pretty new game at this point. It was a very long time ago. Literally like 5.5 years at this point. I had no idea what I was doing. And it was a bit of a... It also did make CZ, who would go on to be like the best player in the world for like a long time, famous. Like it was the first... Wide's 5-wide 2 was the first time CZ beat another tier 1 player in like a proper tournament. And it was amazing. So I did make the best player in the world famous, but the tournament also really sucked. It got on Modern Mino Community's weekly news post. I knew I'd made it when that happened. Guerrero getting a tower of squares in the middle. Not a super accommodating board. He has the well open, gets a nice L there. Gets a nice long bar as well. Really like one for relief on the right side, but he's not going to be able to keep that well open. Murray also dealing with some garbage, but his garbage is right down the bottom, which is a much more comfortable place to have it. Guerrero gets the Tetris up to 266. He's going to be fine. Murray up to 304, still has a lead. And looks like he's committing fully to this row 3. It's been working pretty well for him so far. Going to take the triple. Not playing too aggressive despite the row 3. And we're looking a little nasty now, so it looks like he's going to burn it down. I think a smart play there from Murray, although the game is immediately forcing loads of weight on top of that hole. And would you look at that? This is basically another row 3 setup. NES Tetris can be very strange sometimes. I'm not really sure what else Murray was supposed to do here. He does get the Tetris on row 3. You'll see, yeah, still gonna stick with it. You know, daring the game. Goes for the Aki bar, definitely a statement of intent. There's the Tetris, 366. And 344 for Guerrero, so we've got a close game, just a 1 Tetris lead for Murray. Murray, this time, oh, I thought I was not familiar with this game. I saw an S double that Murray didn't take there and thought, now he's bringing it down. No. Row 3 for life, ride or die. Let's go. It is actually time. There's a triple. Oh my gosh, the board is... I don't like how jagged this is. This is scary. Are you going to have to take the triple? Guerrero has taken the lead. He's up to 414. Guerrero with a bit of burning to do himself to clean up the right side, but pretty safe. Very low level of danger for him. Murray almost back down. His hand has been forced by the approaching transition. Although, hang on a sec, he gets the J, okay, he's going to take the triple. He wanted the center well Tetris into transition, but knew when to stop hoping. And players about half a Tetris apart at transition, with Guerrero in the lead. Guerrero having to take some early burns though, so Murray's got the lead back for now. 468 for Murray, 461 for Guerrero. Murray, Tetris ready. And gets a Tetris, 494. Guerrero scoring with possibly that same long bar up to 490. Bit of a misdrop there for Guerrero, but nothing too troublesome to clean up. Tetris for Murray, 523 into level 21. Another misdrop for Guerrero. Once again, down low on the board. Shouldn't be too bad at all, but these are going to start costing him a bit of pace, and we've seen evidence that Murray can go right to the end of the game. So that is, pace is something of a concern for Guerrero. He's now long bar dependent on column 3. Oh my god, does he get the Tetris here? Imagine. Oh, he gets it, but I think it's too late. It's definitely too late. Actually, was that even a Tetris, or was that just a triple? Now I'm doubting myself, because I didn't see the flash. But Guerrero is done at 528. Murray is good. Murray takes game 3. Also, actually, I've just had this realization. Are the finals supposed to be best of 7 in tier 3? Forgotten exactly what the rules say about that. Hana, help! Do you know what the rules are? You seem like someone who knows what the rules are. Okay, best of 5, right? That's good, because I kind of don't want the stream to go on for 2 hours. No best of 5, so it's clearly best of 11. Well, yeah, I said I didn't want the stream to go for 2 hours, but 3 hours I'd be down for. Yes, you can farm more channel points. I mean, they do kind of just come out of thin air. Like, they do sort of... I can accept 4 more channel points. I believe that sentence makes sense. Like, you don't grow them out of the ground. You don't really farm them. You form them out of the very molecules around you. Both players ready. Let's count down game 4. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Now, if you're winning channel points by gambling, then you wouldn't be forming them, because they're channel points that already exist from other people. But if you're gaining them passively, then you are forming them, I would argue. I've noticed that like, on the subject of typos, I've noticed that I type in this very strange way where I like, sort of, I think, verbally sound the word out in my head. So I always make these typos with, like, letters that are nowhere near each other on the keyboard, just of words that sound similar, and then I look back and I'm like, how did I do that? I didn't used to do this. Like, what has happened to my brain? Yeah, I see it all the time. I, like, read old messages and I'm like, what? How does this even happen? Guerrero with an odd-looking overhang. The S tuck is definitely going to help him a little bit, but he's got some very awkward holes to clear away. Yeah, I do it all the time, and I can remember a time when I didn't. Like, at some point in my life, my typing style just radically transformed. Yeah, exactly, Anpu. Because I didn't used to do that, but now, yeah. Like, I constantly make typos that are like homophones, which sound... Well, not which sound nothing like each other, they often sound the same, but the keys are nowhere near each other on the keyboard. You know, my accuracy with hitting the right keys is pretty good, but with actually conceptualizing the right word, not as good. Yeah, like, I've looked at messages that I swear said the right word, and like, oh my goodness, Guerrero's in some real strife with that misdrop. This could be the game. Several misdrops cascading for Guerrero, and he is going to be done at 130. His run comes to an end. Murray just a little bit too strong, too consistent. He's good. He's going to take this 3-1. Congratulations, Murray, you win a happy feeling. That is unfortunately all you can expect. Well, you can also expect a little bit of time in the excellent winners scene where you get to be wide. But the happy feeling will probably last longer. No worries, Guerrero. Yeah, like, in the event that this league ever happens again, you'll probably at least be in Div 2. Which I know is not a very good promise, but I don't think I'm even authorized to give this kind of promise, so I'm doing what I can. Alright. I hear they brought back the Tetris category, so that probably means it's easier to find people to raid again. Wait, why am I not in the Tetris category anymore? Okay, yes, CDL's live. Let's just go. Hey, 20 Dana 3, get out and stay out. Yeah, we'll get rid of him next time for you. Alright. I hope you've all had a good time. I'll see you all later, everyone. Goodbye.
Oh my god.
Aw.
What?